Hey guys, welcome back. On this lecture, I'm going to show you how to make your homepage because every nice web application has a pretty decent homepage, and we're going to just do that and add some styling later on in the lecture. So, we're on our app directory, Facebook on Rails, as you can check here. And I'm going to go ahead and open Sublime Text. You can open any text editor you want, but I'm using this one. So open Respond, fork Facebook on Rails, here we go. As you can see, our app is pretty default right now. There's no controllers, there's no views, and the routes lead to nothing. So we're going to go ahead and create a new controller. I'm going to call it Pages controller. So Rails, generate controller, pages. And on this controller, I want an action called home, which is our landing page, and this is gonna generate our controller as well as our views for that controller. As you can see, generated the pages views folder, and inside the home html.erb. ERB stands for embedded Ruby. I'll explain in a minute what does that mean, as well as the JavaScripts and style sheets helpers. So let's go ahead and open our Sublime, and first thing we have to do is go on the pages controller and check that it's all right there. There's a method called home, and then next we're going to go to the views folder and on our pages subfolder, and there should be a view called home. So everything here is what's going to show if I go right now to localhost 3000 pages home. We can check that working by starting our Rails server. There we go. Oops. Rails server. And if we open our browser and go to localhost, the root file right now is our default Rails landing page. But if we go to pages home, here we go. But I would like to write here our first hello world. So h1 heading hello world. And as you can see, if we modify this, here we go, hello world. It's quite ugly right now, but in a minute I'll show you how to install Bootstrap. But first, before all of that, I'm gonna make this page my index page. To do this, just go ahead to the config folder and click on roots. As you can see, it's getting the pages home standard, but I wanted to root the index. So uncomment this line here, calling root, and substitute this for pages and this action for home. And you can delete this line if you want. And now, if I go to my index action, here we go, hello world. We have a landing page. Nice. Next, we're gonna add some styling to this. For this, I'm gonna use a framework called Bootstrap. I already had it here. Bootstrap was built by Twitter back in the days, and it's a really good way to add quick styling to your web application. To install this, just download the zip file and include it here. I already did. It's here, and it's gonna show up 3 different folders. One for CSS and one from JavaScript, and I'm going to show you now how to add this to our project. I'm going to ignore this fonts file for now because it has glyph icons and I don't like the Bootstrap started ones. Later on the lecture notes, I'm going to show you how to install Font Awesome, which has a lot better icons. But for now, let's minimize this window and close the server. I'm going to show you a cool trick. To open the apps directory on Finder, just type open dot, and it automatically opens this Finder window with all your resources. So what we're going to do to install these Bootstrap files in our app, we're going to navigate to the vendor directory, assets, and then you could find CSS and JS as here, JavaScripts and style sheets. So let's first put the style sheets in. We'll click style sheets, CSS. These are our style sheets, and we're going to use the bootstrap.css file. So just drag it up to to here. Done. Now for the JavaScripts, and the same thing here. So now how will we tell our app that to get these files once loaded? We can do that in our assets directory. As you can see, there's 3 folders: the images, where your images go, our JavaScripts, and our style sheets. So I start up by loading our application.js, which lists all our JavaScripts, and we're gonna add a line, and we're gonna say require bootstrap.js, because it refers to that file I was talking about. And the same goes for application.css, and here we type require bootstrap.css. So here we go. And if we start our server again, our landing page should look a lot nicer now. Where's the server? And if we open that up again and refresh, here we go. Bootstrap is installed. You see the type font is different. It's a little bit nicer. Let's add a little bit more customization to this. So I'm gonna add before this a container, div class container, to center the content in our page, and close this div. And let's say welcome to Facebook on Rails. And if we save this and click refresh, here we go. It's a lot nicer. And now we have a landing page. Since we did some important changes, I think it's a good idea to do a commit to our Git repository and push it up to the master on our GitHub account. So close down the server. Sorry. To close down, just click Control-C, and let's run git status to see what we changed. So as you can see, we modified a bunch of files and added a lot more files: controllers, the assets, some views. Yeah. So to add this to our repository to be committed, we just type git add dot and git commit m. And what did we do to it? What did we do in this lecture? So we added a home page and added Bootstrap. Done, committed, and now we're gonna push it up to our repository. To do this, we just type git push u origin master. All done.